Welcome to what will be a very quick intro here on the broadcast. We are Green Flag Racing and turning the broadcast on in a hurry. Let me put it that way, as we've had a couple of broadcast technical difficulties. But here we go, race cars on the racetrack. That is what we would love to see. We're about 15 laps into a 111-lap race, and Zach, I'll let you take it away as far as what's happened here to get us rolling.
Yeah, there's already been a lot of craziness so far in this race. Lap 1, we had an early exit, and I mean a very early exit by one Joel Smith. He tried to plug a hole, and well, it didn't exactly go in his favor. He ended up putting the 77 tail end into the air, which ended up getting his tail end into the air, and now he's sitting with a blown motor on pit road 14 laps down. We had another spin that brought out a quick yellow as well. That was Cameron Hamilton. He spun off of turn number 4. Nobody else really got collected in that. We had a few cars take to the pit lane to get some damage repaired, but otherwise we are clean and green 17 laps in, and everybody's getting mostly single file as we roll on here at USA of 111 laps. We're only on to lap 18.
We'll talk about some of the fun and formality stuff under a caution if we get one. Right now, we're green flag. Corey Body leading the race with Casey Kelly, Cole Cabry second and third. Alex McCullum sitting in the fourth spot, and a move here for second. That was closed out into turn number 3. Cole Cabry looking on the inside of Casey Kelly.
There's moves being made here, Andrew, early on in this race, which is kind of concerning me because I would rather not we see incidents like we did early on in this race with Joel Smith ended up going around, but we continue to roll on. These drivers, they know what they're doing. They can be relatively patient. I'm looking at that number 1 car sitting in the 4th spot, Alex McCullum. He knows exactly what he needs to do and how to get it done here in this SARA Super Series. And oh, I say that, he gets a little bumper. Look at Cottle poking underneath.
That's 2 laps in a row now that McCullum has gotten into his teammate, Cole Cabry, into turns 1 and 2. And that time they checked up even more and almost got side by side with Josh Cottle right behind. This is not what you want early on in a race, to be tagging teammates.
It is not. You kind of want to make your friends now. Obviously your teammates are supposed to be your friends, but they can become an enemy pretty quick. We've seen it happen a ton of times in racing series all across the world. So treat your teammates nicely. What's the saying? Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Well, lap 22 now of 111. This is the Crow Sim Shots 111. Let's bring the ticker down and go through a couple of the formalities under this green flag. This is the first race of the 2024-2025 Pierce Fleet Service Super Series. Race number 1, the Crow Sim Shots 111 here at USA. Brought to you by Pierce Fleet Service, brought to you by Crow Sim Shots, and brought to you by all series partners. We apologize for the informality as far as getting the broadcast started and just how everything has gone to get to this point, but we're glad that you're here with us this evening on YouTube, Twitch, or X. Well, X, yeah, I suppose, or Facebook is what I was looking for. There's the places we broadcast, and certainly appreciate you joining us this evening. It's been a rough road to get just to this point, but we're glad we're here, and we'll carry on the rest of these 111 laps with Corey Bodie leading the race. No, I never learned, actually, if it's Bodie or Body. I'm going to go with one of the two.
I want to say Bodie, but if we're going off of, you know, what we learned in elementary school with vowels, it would be Body. So, but I've seen randomness when it comes to last names. You know, Bodie, McCullum, Massengill, Cardinale, which I was pronouncing Cardinale for a little while.
Well, what I do know is that Corey is looking real quick this evening, running first and driving away a little bit from Casey Kelly. Cody Kelly was up here battling for the second spot earlier and has kind of fallen back since. But this 23 car out front with the taped up number and taped up sponsor on the hood looks really, really good so far.
I know a thing or two about taped up numbers. They can be fun at times. Easy to replace, I'll say. But nice to see some new faces up at the front, but we've also got familiar faces up here too. You got Cole Cabry sitting in the 3rd spot, Alex McCullum right behind him, Cottle, you know, both the Kellys up there. They are brothers, correct?
I believe so. I will learn one way or the other. They could just be a happy coincidence. Caution, it's the other Kelly, Cody Kelly, around.
Oh no. Was just up there in the 6th spot. Oh, facing the wrong way around right there at the pit entry. Not a lot of damage on that car, if any. So it looks like he'll get it back rolling as he does a little quick slide across turn number 4. Gets it straightened out before the field comes up. Gets it back rolling. Now we get to take a look at the fabulous replay, see how it all happened.
Was racing with the 10 car of Blake Massengill. It's down to turn number 3, and Massengill just gets into him. We are here at the USA International Speedway. That's one thing we can talk about under this yellow. And this is a long, straightaway, tight corner kind of place, a lot like Martinsville, New Hampshire had a baby with extra banking. You can absolutely get real close to these guys' bumpers, and you can get too close in a hurry down into these corners. It's inviting to just dive on in and make some big moves, but you don't want to do that.
That you do not. It can be easy, honestly, here at USA. I've done it a number of times myself. Just get down into the corner, roll off the gas a little bit, roll off the brake, give it a little tap. That was a little more than a tap, but hey, it happens sometimes. At least all these drivers were heads up about missing this incident. Look at everybody just swerving on around. We got one car going high, but for the most part, everyone holds pretty steady.
And I'm being notified that Alex McCullum is no longer a part of the shop. Now, these are things we don't get told, Zach. Everybody changes teams around into the off-season, goes all these different places, different directions, and nobody tells us, but that's okay. As we ride on board here with Cody Kelly down the pit lane here at USA International Speedway, we can take a look at the track map here as well. This is exactly what I'm talking about, how it's kind of a combination of New Hampshire and Martinsville. You see the long straightaways, tighter corners, and paperclip structure in general. Opened in 1995, closed in 2008. Glad we have it here on iRacing.
I hate that it closed. I hate seeing racetracks close, but it's something we've seen in recent years, Andrew, where the real estate and the land that is available or soon to be available when demolishing a racetrack, it's just too great for developers to pass up. They buy out the land and, well, we lose the racetracks that we love to see every week.
Well, here at Keith Jeffrey with a lot of damage to his right side on that Shop Talk number 88. All alone there in the pit lane, not a nut. Well, there's a couple of other souls there on the pits. Looks like Joel Smith maybe and one other, maybe a John Owlett or a Riley Stengen. Riley Stengen, it looks like, in the pit lane as well. But there you see the choose in the background. So these guys will choose which lane they want to start in. You can see that from afar here from the blimp. And let's talk about the season schedule a little bit as well here, Zach. We open things up this evening at Lakeland, otherwise known as USA International Speedway. We go to Southern National in a week's time for race number 2. Then it's out to Mystery Night times 3. Mystery 1, Mystery 2, Mystery 3. Before we go to Slinger on January 16th. And back to a mystery race on January 23rd. Oxford on January 30th. And New Smyrna there on February 6th. Mystery race February 20th, and then we wrap things up at Lanier February 27th. That's a stack up for the restart, and one car goes spinning. That's Casey Kelly. There's more.
More cars spinning in the back as well.
Who got the race lead out of that? It looks like it's going to be Corey Body. I'm probably going to change up how I say it every time. One time it'll be Bodie, one time it'll be Body. Well, let's take a look at the restart. Casey Kelly on the inside. Corey just didn't go. He was waiting.
Can't be slacking and sleeping on the restarts, Andrew.
Well, I don't think he was. He was waiting for when he wanted to go. Let's watch this back one more time. Let's slow it down. There's cones here to designate the restart zone. That's where it begins. He's waiting.
Cabri starts going.
Cabri launches, Corey waits, and that's where everything... So, yeah, that's just a matter of Corey waiting to start when he wants to start, and everybody else not quite getting the message. Watch it here.
Yeah. That could have been a black flag right there for Cabry for jumping the restart. Looking at race control, looks like there are no black flags being handed out. So Cabry did not jump the restart. He gave that position back. There you see the second spin. Looks like Steele Langford.
You see that replay there for Steele Langford in the 33 up front. Things have changed a little bit. Trevor Edwards now into that third position. So moving up a little bit. New paint scheme on that, number 32. It seems like there's all new teams. I don't want to say teams. I was trying to come up with a better word for that, but all new teams around the series because Trevor Edwards is in a very different paint scheme, a new look on that 32 car. We see the shop decals adorning the 54 car of Cole Cabry, although he's got a new look to his car. We hear about Alex McCullum no longer being a part of the shop. It seems like things have moved around quite a bit over in that area. We'll have to learn as the season goes, Zach, about who's where and who's where or why. Nearly 40 laps into this race and we're in this season and we're learning a lot.
That we are. So much goes on here in the SARA series, and like you said, Andrew, it's hard to keep up with. And one thing that they ended up doing is they started doing a choose cone, and you're going to get to see it right here as the drivers hit the line. They will be choosing as they roll across. You see our leader choosing the bottom, Cabry top. Their choose is at the start-finish line, so pretty clear, cut and dry when they need to be getting into their lane. Lights are out atop the pace car, so we'll be rolling green next time by.
This time by, we'll get the race restarted. It'll be Corey Bodie out front with Cole Cabry on the outside. I'm tongue-tied this evening. The blue screen and everything completely threw me off this evening, I'll tell you what. But we're going to get this race restarted, reset, refreshed, and ready to go for racing. Let's try this again in the restart zone. Bodie leads and launches nicely. We're back green. Cole Cabry hounding that 23 car through turns 3 and 4. Side by side for third, but out front, it's a battle of two.
Nose to tail as they roll into turn number 1. Cole Cabry chasing down that duct taped old car up at front. I'm still a little tongue-tied myself on how to pronounce his last name, Andrew. But
it's either Bodie or Bodie. It's one of the two, but here we go. Battle for the race lead.
Oh,
Cabry gets to the inside and makes contact. There goes the 23 up the racetrack, hangs on to it. Cabry on the inside now for turn number 3. Here we go.
Saw the catch there from Cole Cabry. He had to crank that wheel to the right, but he kept it rolling. Gets clear. New race leader Cole Cabry off of turn number 4. We're already almost halfway into this race, Andrew. These guys are tearing it up right now. Trevor Edwards has moved into 3rd. Parker Trace up to 4th. Schaefer Jr. into 5th. Cottle's holding up in 6th right now. Matt Rolfe has moved inside the top 10. He's up to 7th. Cottle, Ashby, and Harbert, your top 10. I don't know what happened to Alex McCullum, but he dropped all the way down to 25th.
And to be clear, that's Jim Cottle Jr. in the 6th position as one car goes sliding. I heard in the background tires squealing. But everybody, it looks like, is okay as we sink deep in the field here, looking at Blake Massagill and Aaron Johnson. You mentioned Alex McCullum. He's down here all the way in 25th spot. One car gets the wall. That is the 65, maybe, of Aaron Abendroth. And yes, it was. He'll get passed up. Car spinning.
Oh, we got one car going around.
That's the 88 of Kyle Meyer, the 75 of Cody Kelly. Around again.
What is the old saying, Andrew? Cautions breed cautions.
Yeah, we're seeing that.
It looks like
this is a
Kelly
finicky
has
racetrack,
little bit of
though.
left front damage.
This is a very finicky racetrack, difficult to get around. Talk about it being a mix of Martinsville and New Hampshire, and you see moves like that where McCullum pokes his nose to the inside and kind of gets Kelly staggered out a little bit.
Yeah, I honestly thought that McCullum had tipped Kelly around. So I was watching the nose there and didn't even see.
I don't think there was ever contact from the one car, but he got down there onto the apron, and I think that spooked Cody Kelly a little bit into getting into Kyle Meyer and turning that 88 car around, and that's what causes this crash.
Yeah, there was definitely no contact when the initial wreck happened. I think after the checkup, you saw a little bit of a tap on the left rear, but that wouldn't have caused any discourse. There's the tap. It's going around, and then Kelly gets tapped around from behind, and here he goes. Minimal damage on those cars, though, so they'll be able to keep rolling, but just an unfortunate incident for both of them. Not really anything you want to see, especially when we're just about halfway in this race, or closing in on it at least.
One more look will be the full onboard from Kyle Meyer's perspective. And this might help tell the story as well. You'll see Alex McCullum dip down onto the inside. Right here to turn one. Oh, you just can't quite see it because the 75 is there, but if you know what you're looking for, you can still see that number one car dip to the inside and just kind of show his nose into the corner. I think that spooked the 75 a little bit. Well, we get another chance to reset here. Weather conditions, by the way, in case you're curious, since this is an open setup league. 78.5 degrees in the air, 83 degrees on track. A calm day by Florida standards. Partly cloudy. Perfect for racing.
That it is. We love to see good racing. I will say, too, Andrew, one thing we didn't cover here on Pit Stop TV for this race is that there was a heat race before this one got started. And they took two transferees from the heat race. Those transferees, Ryan Kuhn and Aaron Johnson. They took the top two.
That heat race was provisionals. So that's a procedural kind of thing in order to open it up to allow more drivers to join the session in the first place, and then have two provisionals roll around in order to start at the tail end of the field if they didn't make it by qualifying. Which is interesting that Ryan Kuhn wouldn't have made it by qualifying, but as you take a look here at the schedule, he's got plenty of opportunities to make it in by qualifying through the rest of the season, beginning next time out at Southern National Motorsports Park. And we're not racing again until December 5th, so we are taking a few weeks off here. Of course, next week we'll be running the Fall Brawl 250 for the SARA 1.8 Racing Media National Tour. And the week after will be, I believe, week 13 or week 14 technically on iRacing with the leap year this year. So that'll be a week off as well. And then December 5th.
That's why it's 14 weeks. I'm like, did iRacing mess up the schedule? But no, we had a leap year. I completely forgot about that.
Yes, sir. Every fourth year. Well, here we go.
Presidential election.
With that as well. Here we go. Cole Cabry, Trevor Edwards, Corey Body, and Parker Traves, your top four. Green flag back in the air at USA. Off that fourth corner, you see the entire field go down the front stretch and down to turn number one. Single file up front, though. First side-by-side is for sixth.
Yeah, we've already got the top four breaking away. You see Schaefer rolling through the corner, trying to hang on to that race car. He got a little sideways, but he's going to get clear. Jim Connell gets into the wall a little bit. We got a caution on the speedway. Once again, Andrew spinning front straightaway. Oh, no.
Alex McCullum with a lot of damage to his number one car.
He had to have gone head on into the inside wall for that one. I heard cars spinning through the grass. Cecile Langford right behind McCullum. This is coming onto the back straightaway here, so this is right before the incident happened. Langford's looking to get in on the bottom line. He gets down there. Oh, it's a 3-wide mess, and
McCullum, oh my gosh, between Abendroth and Massengill, that was just never going to work.
There was nowhere to go there.
So a new look on the one car, new team for him, all on his lonesome. And you see here one more time.
Look at Kyle Meyer just barely escaping that. Stenjum and Cody Kelly back there, they just check up for the incident. They don't want to get involved. It's hard to not get involved when you got a car pirouetting. Not pirouetting. What's the word? Oh my goodness. We'll just say spinning across the front straightaway.
Well, this is what the rest of the field wants to see. Alex McCullum having problems. Reigning series champion.
Oh, man.
Smashed into the outside wall.
I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle Meyer has a little bit of damage. You could see off the cam that he might have made contact. It's inherently possible.
On board with Kyle Meyer once again.
3 cars up the road. There's McCullum. There's a spin. Checks up, stacks. Oh, that was actually pretty clear, the incident. A lot less close than I thought it was.
That door bang with John Owlett might have saved him.
It just might have. Well, Andrew, call it a halfway caution. Should be cross flags this time by, if it wasn't last time by, for these drivers right now. We spent a majority of this race under caution already, though.
You know, I will say I'm glad this is a cautions count kind of race, because these guys have had a rough night to get the season started. Look back at the schedule, and we're going to keep coming back to this graphic because this is a kind of overwhelming schedule, just in the fact that half the races are unknown. We know where we're racing 6 of the 11 times, but 5 of those 11 times we have no clue where we're going just yet. 5 mystery races, and Zach, that's created quite the buzz around the series. A lot of drivers like that. Most, I think, do. Which is interesting to me. For a driver to not know where you're going to be racing, but enjoy that, but like that. That's interesting. I didn't expect it to be so well received, to have half of the season be mystery races.
Honestly, I kind of enjoy it. I like the mystery. I like the... oh my gosh, your tongue-tiedness has spread to me. But I like how they go about this. I like keeping drivers in the dark a little bit. Not too much in the dark to where it's, you know, secret keeping and irritating for a lot of these drivers, but enough to where it keeps everyone on their toes. You're not having all of these fast guys going and testing every single day the week before the race, and some of the guys who might just be getting off of work that day who don't have time to test, they have the time to just pop a setup in and say, all right, here we go. We're on the same even playing field as everybody else. But I'm going to say 5 races: Hickory, Irwindale, Myrtle Beach, North Wilkesboro, and we'll have to worry about it later. Green flag.
Down the backstretch, Corey Body on the outside, Trevor Edwards on the inside. First fight on the racetrack is for second. Parker Traves right behind from the posse. New look on that 60 car, very plain, very white, but it's getting the job done as he battles now for third spot.
Yeah, they're side by side for the third spot. So tight going into 1 and 2, but it looks like Parker Traves is going to have a nose coming off of turn number 2. They're staying side by side down the back straightaway, but into turn number 3, I think Traves is going to have it here. Maybe not. Still side by side on the turn 4, just barely, and Schaefer gets loose off the corner.
Yeah, Joe Schaefer Jr. getting real free there off the corner as Trevor Edwards goes fastest, a 20.174. Street stocks, for reference, you're glad to be at a 23-second lap time. These guys are moving around this USA International Speedway, getting closer and closer to running 19-second lap times, which would absolutely be cruising here. Jacob Harbour side by side with Josh Cottle. This is for 6th as they passed up Jim Cottle Jr. Two different spellings of coddle. They sound the same, but two different ways of spelling.
Hey, we've seen things spelled differently yet said the same. I mean, hey, race car spelled backwards is still race car anyway. But in any case, they've gotten single file for the most part through the top 10. First side-by-side fight is Matt Rolfe right there in the 10th spot. He's got Jeremy Ashby right to his outside. He's going to move up into 9th by getting the nose out in front, but they still save them side-by-side down the back straightaway into turn 3. Look at Ryan Kuhn, though. He's moved his way up. He's up into the 11th spot. One of your provisionals here tonight. Like you said, Andrew, really surprising to see him not make it through into qualifying. But hey, he's out here showing that he still has the pace to be 10 with these guys.
On board with Ryan Kuhn running in the 11th position. Right behind Matt Rolfe on the inside there of the Matt Julis C Speed Shot. 0-1 of Jeremy Ashby. Brian Tedeschi's behind these two. Tedeschi making an appearance. We don't often see his name on the sign-up sheet. Glad he's here. Same with Tyler DiVinanza right behind. We've brought some drivers out of the woodworks this evening to run this first race of the season. That's going to be interesting to see if they run all season long or if this is a one-off for some of these drivers. Tedeschi to the inside there of Ashby.
Yeah, Ashby's just getting hung out to dry on that outside line now. He's trying to find a way to put that car down onto the bottom. Look at how much he's pinching Tedeschi down to the bottom line, right onto that yellow, painting it with those left side tires. So close to each other, and it looks like he almost got clear down the back straightaway. Oh, if you're... Oh, my goodness.
Oh, crash!
No, the wall.
That's the 15 involved as well. Kyle Turzak in it.
Oh, look at Massengill. Almost getting a piece of it. He rode the wall to go around the 15. That was never going to work for too long, Andrew, and it's showing how it wasn't. Like Brian Tedeschi is taking responsibility for the caution, but he's saying that it was also very bad netcode.
I don't know that it was netcode. Tedeschi kind of squeezed him up even into turn 3 and then squeezed him up out of turn 4. I don't know that it was netcode between those two. I think that's maybe forgetting just how wide a super late model is. Trust me, I've done it myself. Forgetting just how wide the car is and how wide it sticks out there on the right side. I've gotten into the wall a lot of times that way. Granted, I don't race the Super all that often. But he just kind of, I mean, to be blunt about it, stuck, and I know it wasn't intentional at all, this is just racing, but to be very blunt about it, stuck the Ashby machine in the fence. You'll get a look at it here.
Yeah, Ashby hit the wall beforehand.
Trying to stay off the 29 car.
Pretty much. And that's the one thing that can suck about getting in the wall. When you hit the wall, it causes a slight bounce to the car, which, you know, might be where Tedeschi's coming from with the netcode, because he might have thought that the car bounced and it hooked his 29 machine into the outside wall, but for all realistic purposes, I mean, it's just running out of racing room in reality, and he was going to keep moving to the right. As you see Turzak going around off the nose of Hamilton, trying to avoid the incident. There's Massengill coming in a little late. He gets a small piece on that left front. You know, it's just chaos from there, Andrew.
So problems aplenty under that yellow. So we'll give these guys, I believe, the 1 green signal this next time by.
You want to talk about problems aplenty? I mean, I kind of hate that caution for Turzak, to be perfectly honest. It's not been a good week on Pit Stop TV for Kyle Turzak.
Was a part of the BRB Butt Kicker Cup Series on Tuesday, racing for Whiplash Racing, and had a rough evening there at Atlanta Motor Speedway to get the season started.
A lot of people had some rough evenings at Atlanta.
But he's got 40 laps left here, 40 to go now at USA International Speedway, so a little bit of time left to get the race turned back around. Alex McCullum, one of the few drivers out of the race, along with Joel Smith. Blake Massengill, the one car that is in the race but laps down. He is now 2 laps down, as there you see Joel Smith's machine. And Terzak is into the box, taking service.
Joel Smith's been on pit road for just about the entire race. So it sucks to see it, but those two are pretty much the only ones, Joel Smith and Alex McCullum, that is more than 10 laps down. And you've got Massengale 1 lap down at the moment. Ashby on pit lane coming out now. So much unfolding right now as they're choosing at the line to get set up for this restart. Under 40 laps to go. See all the cars fanning out in the back, choosing inside or outside. That's the beauty of short track racing, Andrew. But we all know that the inside line on the choose cone is at a premium. You go to the outside if you want track position. You go to the inside if you have it and you want to keep it.
We'll see what these guys can do now inside of 40 to go. I want to give a big shout out to all partners with the series. The All-Pro Elite Model Tour, Cody Williams Design, Corey Body Motorsports, Crow Sim Shots, Davis Chassis Works, DriverTees.com, Dylan Bates Racing, Fast AF Designs, Hides Pride Leather and Sheepskin, International Short Track Association, Matthews Designs, and more. Green flag. Almost contact there between the 13 and 23 cars. They sorted out for turn 3, but the 13 is caught on the outside. That's Josh Cottle.
Still side by side for that 4th spot right now. Cottle seeing if he can make the top line work. We've seen a lot of these SARA Super Series drivers make that top line work for them, especially at tracks like Oxford Plains, where you didn't think the outside line would be the way to go. But they've done it before, and they've done it again. Cottle takes that 4th spot away.
Whoa, Jacob Harberts. He's gonna slide up towards the outside wall, but he collects the car. Caution flag anyways. Oh boy.
What a catch.
There were other cars that had slowed from all of that, but yes, that was a beautiful piece of driving out of Jacob Harberts in that white, black, and gold machine. A look at it here in the corner. Schaefer just gets into him, and oh man, Harberts turned left, and Schaefer was down there.
Heavy blow right there for Harberts. He was running really good. You saw a little bit of contact right there. Boom, there's the turn in.
Wow.
Schaefer gets back into him again. There's going to be some right front damage. Oh, scrapes that rear bumper on the wall, but keeps it rolling, keeps it straight. What a save right there from Jacob Harberts. But you really call it a save if he might have been the cause of the incident to begin with.
Oh, this is 100% a save. Down through the grass, up the racetrack.
Full crank to the right.
That is in every way a save.
On board here.
This will be Joe Schaefer Jr.
Here's the interesting thing about open setups, Andrew. There you see, rolling down the straightaway. They got the wheel already at 1 o'clock, and there's the contact. Look at his hands, holding on to that machine. Ryan Kuhn sneaks on by. He moves up into the 9th spot. I think he might have to give up a couple of those spots under this caution flag. He does not. We see a few drivers taking it to the pit lane to get some damage fixed. Roll back out onto the racetrack. That's more spots for drivers who were towards the back, and I do want to take a quick mention of that. Drivers who were towards the back now up towards the front. Steele Langford's walked his way up into the top 10. Spencer Dickinson's working his way towards the top 10. There you see Harbert's on pit road getting his damage fixed.
Harberts will roll. Blake Massagill, another car in the pit lane. 9 laps down, though. Looks like he's calling the day done for that Cottle chassis, number 10. Well, look at what's upcoming here at Pit Stop TV. Next up, we go to Five Flags Speedway here with this bunch. They'll be going to Five Flags for the Fall Brawl. next week here on Pit Stop TV. On Tuesday, we've got heat racing. On Thursday, we've got feature racing. And right in between, we go to Iowa Speedway with the SimRap Market Series, November 20th on a Wednesday. So once again, a full week of action here on Pit Stop TV. Kicks off on Tuesday with the 1-8 Racing Media National Tour with heat racing and qualifying from Five Flags. It's been a rough one so far, ladies and gentlemen, but hey, we've still got some time to go. These guys can get the ship righted for sure. 30 laps to go when we go back green flag racing. And you know what? We see these kinds of races to start a series off. We saw it with the BRB Racing League on Tuesday, right? A lot of cautions. It was one of those races to just get things started. A lot more drivers than usual. A lot of drivers from different places getting used to one another. And we're going to see that. These guys have not points raced since May. It's been a little while for the Super Series, but here we go. Green flag, back in the air. Past the speed shot there on the front straightaway. Side by side for fourth. It's the 13 of the 23. Once again, Traves got by, but Cottle and Body battle once again, and now gets single file. Caudill Jr. and Matt Rolfe now side by side.
Single file from the top 5 on back, like you said, Andrew.
Crash!
Oh, they're wrecking the back. That's Meyer going around. Oh!
John Owlett up and over. Keith Jeffrey and Kyle Meyer involved, both 88 cars.
Heavy impacts for a lot of drivers right there. You see him running side by side off of turn number 4. Owlett gets loose off of 4, collects Meyer. Then Meyer comes back down the racetrack and finishes the job right there.
That was Jeffrey in the gold 88, both 88s involved.
I get them confused sometimes.
So it's Keith Jeffrey right behind the 8 of John Owlett. Side by side, there they were off of turn number 4. Owlett gets loose, comes down into Keith Jeffrey. Meyer ends up driving into Jeffrey as he was spinning, and boom.
Yeah, it looks like the majority of the contact right there between Owlett and Meyer that really set this off. Or excuse me, Keith Jeffrey. And Meyer that we were on board with just now, he came to a stop right there on the front straightaway, trying to minimize the damage on board that race car. Take a look on board with Keith Jeffrey. There's Owlett, top side, into turn 3. Then you'll see the catch right here off of turn number 4, and Jeffrey will point that car right to the wall right here. Heavy impact.
We don't often roll him here in the SARA Super Series, but that was a big one for John Owlett. Here's the onboard.
What can you do sometimes, Andrew?
That's a good question. Not much very often.
I thought you were going to say not wreck them, but that works too.
We're going to have a little over 20 to go here when we go back green.
As I said with the BRB Butt Kicker Cup Series just the other night, and you just reiterated, Andrew, these guys, you know, this is the first time they've been points racing since May. Some of them are around each other for the first time in a few months, racing side by side. So, as I put it so... How tongue-tiedness kicking in again. As I put it just the other night, let's cut them a couple of slacks.
I'm letting that one land. That's a callback to a joke about pants. Anyhow, we should be choosing this time by. Yes, RJ Williams, that is a one-wraps paint scheme on the Trevor Edwards machine. He'll be choosing bottom here right behind Cole Cabry. Traves chooses top. Cottle chooses bottom. Audie chooses top. Cottle Jr. chooses bottom. Rolf chooses top. That's going to move Rolf up into 6th. Spencer Dickinson going to choose the top side. He'll move up into 8th. Good to see Spencer Dickinson back in the field. I know he's been slacking lately, missing some races.
You calling out cars is giving me summer shootout flashbacks.
Well, here we go. Let's try this thing one more time. A little over 20 to go. 22, in fact, when we get the green flag. Green flag back in the air. Side by side, Trevor Edwards, Parker Traves. The outside's been good on these restarts, and it's good here again. Traves gets the advantage over Edwards into turn 3. One car spins in the back. I believe that was Abendroth. We stay green.
Single car spin, never mind, but they're wiggling off of turn number 4, Andrew. Multiple cars getting sideways. A little bit of contact, but we keep it clean and green. Edwards is going to elbow his way back to second place and hang on to it. Gets clear of Parker Traves, and now Josh Cottle sticks his nose in there. As we hit the line, it's going to be 20 laps to go. They're running out of time to get to the front, but the inside line continues to move forward. Ryan Kuhn has moved up to the 7th spot. Cole Cabry goes quickest, but he's a little bit further down the running order as we get majority single file amongst the top 5.
Well, Kuhn's about to crack the top 5. Ryan Kuhn gets clear into 6th. Gets by Corey Body. Is going to go to work here on Jim Cottle Jr.
Caution on the speedway.
Yep, there it is. Riley Stensham turned around.
Oh, man. We see Abendroth coming back into frame after single spin on the back straightaway not a lap or two ago. Terzak underneath. This is on the back straightaway. Stensham gets inside, gets down to the bottom.
Gets checked up behind Jacob Harberts, and Terzak tips him around.
Relatively tame incident for the most part. Moves off the 2, Andrew. He slots in line on the bottom. This is on the gearbox cam. There's the check. There's the tip. Around he goes. Outlet makes it by on the outside line. Everyone gets by, no damage to them. Shouldn't be any major damage on those cars either way. So we continue to roll on as the lights are coming on here at USA. Cabry continues to lead, Andrew. We've got less than 20 laps to go. We'll have 16 laps to go when we come back across the line. Should be restarting with about 15 or 14 laps to go. So, like I said, Andrew, there's not a lot of time left for these guys to really make some headway. You've got a number of drivers that have worked their way up to the front. We made mentions of them before the caution came out. Ryan Kuhn, Matt Rolfe, Steele Langford, Spencer Dickinson. All these drivers have started moving their way up, and they might be in contention for race wins come time for the end of the race if these guys keep causing cautions.
Well, that should be the 2 to green signal there from the flag stand, and we should be 1 to green the next time by. Let's hope there aren't too many more cautions in the future. We do have 2 green-white checkers if we need them. And so far, it's looking like we might. I don't think it was expected to have a night race here. I think this race fired off a little while before sunset, just enough to where this race could have been finished under sunlight conditions, and it has extended a little bit beyond what was expected here. Lights are turning on. That's going to run the track a bill, of course, and tracks hate turning the lights on. And that was not the 1 to green signal, so we get the 2 to green signal there. These cautions taking a while. 1 car going to the rear, I think that was part of it. Kyle Terzak now getting the EOL. That should send us green here shortly.
I think they'll be able to pay that light bill, Andrew, with some of that Monopoly money that Joey Logano's flaunting around after his championship winning run. But I'm only quoting Denny Hamlin on that one, but the Monopoly money going around more than likely to pay this light bill.
I wonder if the Amazon warehouse that's now at the racetrack is willing to spare some light.
What a Pepsi factory.
It's one of the two. It's something that it shouldn't be. It's not a racetrack, so I know that much.
Look at all the cars choosing the bottom line. Ryan Kuhn is going to go from 9th to 4th on this choose. Not to cut you off mid-sentence there, Andrew, but that was one unexpected choose right there. Just about the entirety of the top 4 chose the bottom line, except for Trevor Edwards.
Yeah, Edwards chose the top side. That's interesting, considering he's been restarting behind Cole Cabry. But I think realizing the top side's a little better.
He did restart topside most of these restarts and was able to slot in line. The last restart, he chose bottom. So I think he realizes the top's the way to go, and that's where he wants to stay.
See what happens here. Not Geico, but restart zone. Green flag back in the air. Been doing too many NASCAR races lately. Cottle trying to get clear of Ryan Kuhn. There we go, the 72 car. Josh Cottle trying to get clear of himself. That's what I'm trying to go for.
Topside track position for Ryan Kuhn. He really made that top line work. He's holding steady in the 4th spot.
Oh, in the wall, though.
He's going to lose a little bit here, fall back into the 5th spot. He's in the clutches of Parker Traves in that number 60. He's got to try to make quick work of him. We've only got 11 laps to go once we take the next time by the line. Matt Rolfe has moved his way up in the 7th. Langford's in 8th. Dickinson in 10th. Everyone's moving around in our pole sitter. I don't want to butcher his last name, Andrew. We keep floating back and forth between Bodie and Booty.
Bodie and Body.
Body, excuse me.
Oh, car spinning. I heard it.
No? Yes. Oh.
No rear end on that car.
He's got no rear end. He's got no rear end downforce. 10 laps to go, by the way.
We continue on. Side by side, Ryan Kuhn, Jim Cottle Jr. Big one.
Now we're spinning.
That's Casey Kelly. Big hit to the inside wall.
Both the Kellys having issues tonight. Cody Kelly's moved himself back up into the 14th spot, and now the other Kelly, well, he's going to be limping that car down to the pit lane. Maybe we'll be using those green-white checkers tonight, Andrew. Tell me they got together with each other.
No, DiVincenzo. Wow.
Oh. It could have been close for those two, though.
Pull Down Motorsports 97 got free off the corner after getting a shot there from Casey Kelly. Down into the 5 car, and that's that crash.
That's one way to get straightened back out after getting a tap from the rear. There's the shot. Car goes up the racetrack. He has to chase it. Still chasing it. Gets loose. That's a big thing with super late models. You got to remember the horsepower in these things. Those rear ends can slide when you get on the throttle. So that might have been what happened there. He just caught the car on throttle and snapped it loose. That's exactly what it looked like. Just snapped further left. He got the wheel cranked right.
Well, inside of 10 laps to go, laps clicking off one by one. We should be able to get this race wrapped up here shortly. I will knock on wood for it.
I didn't say it, but I'm gonna knock on wood with you. Someone just blew a motor. Not sure who. I heard a motor blow. It might have been someone sitting on pit road.
That's my initial thought.
Can't be Joel Smith. He blew his motor after flipping lap 1. So he's been sitting there getting it fixed the entirety of the race. But I'm sure that's going to sit another car out of this race, Andrew. We are going to have 8 laps to go this time by. Should be 2 to green right there. So we'll get the 1 to green with 6, and we'll restart with 5. You seem adamant that we're going to be using green-white checkers, though, so maybe we're not out of the woods just yet.
We're hoping not to use those green-white checkers this evening, but we do have 2 available. One more time, we'll look at the schedule this season. Next up, Southern National on December 5th. That'll be for 173 laps. Then Patriot Media takes us to our first mystery night of the season. Followed up by the mystery night presented by Corey Body Motorsports. Then by Pedley's Garage. 3 mystery nights in a row. Then we go to Slinger, brought to you by Wisconsin Wings and Walleyes. Then Toxic Media Solutions takes us to our next mystery night number 4. Then finally, we get to a couple of tracks we know we're going to. Those will be Oxford Plains and New Smyrna. Before Fast AF Designs takes us to another mystery night number 5. And then we wrap the season up at Lanier.
Looks like we got a couple people asking, where is the RJ Williams 150?
Hey man, I just put graphics together based on what I'm told. Here we go. Restart zone once again. 4 laps to go. Side by side for third. Ryan Kuhn, Josh Cottle down to turn number 3. 3 laps to go this time by.
Ryan Kuhn is hanging tough on that outside line. He was able to get the track position once again, but he does the same thing, Andrew. He taps the wall, front straightaway. Locks himself in that 4th spot, this time in front of Parker Traves, but it looks like...
Spinning, crashing. Spinner. Oh my gosh.
Big wreck.
And this will go to overtime.
That's the big one in turn number 2. See, Ashby's around. Oh, we got one crab walk in. Deshi's involved. They just can't stop wrecking right now, can they?
Steven Onzo, a big block there on Spencer Dickinson. I think that's where this is going to start. Yep.
Oh, big hits. That's Cody Kelly getting involved in another incident. That's both the Kellys out of the race now. Casey Kelly's taking that car behind the wall, and I think Cody's about to join him. Brian Tedeschi is taking that car out of the race. He's done for the event.
Steven Onzo was trying to get in line here. Throws a big block on Spencer Dickinson. Spencer was having none of it. Stuck his nose there on the inside. And even Onzo pays the price.
Jacob Harberts gets tapped around. See a couple of cars making contact on the bottom. You saw Terzak's getting down low. Massengale, I think that was as well. Actually, excuse me, Massengale's still out of the race. That was... not sure who that was down there. But you see slotting in line. Yeah, Spencer Dickinson just shoved his nose in there. Wasn't having anything of it. There they go, just going around.
Well, this will take us into overtime, and we have a fancy graphic, especially for this situation. Overtime rules here on the iRacing.com service. We'll have 2 laps, a green lap and a white lap, then checkered flag will end it. If the green lap is completed, the race is official. If the green lap is not completed, we'll re-rack them, restack them, and go for one more attempt. After all attempts are used, which we only have 2, a caution can end the race if the caution occurs during the green lap.
Well, Andrew, take your picks now. Cabry, Edwards, Cottle, Kuhn, Edwards, your top 5. What are you thinking here? Think anybody's going to catch Cabry? You think somebody's going to get up there and use the bumper like we've been seeing all race? Or does this race play out in a much different manner, do we? Just see a calm, clean, collected race to the end.
It'll be anything but calm.
Well, a guy could dream.
It'll be anything but calm, but the top 3, I think, might hold. I think we might only need 1 attempt to get this race in, and I think the top 3 will hold of Cabry, Edwards, and Cottle. I don't think that's going to change much. I would be very surprised if it does.
Well, time to see how it goes. Should be choosing this time by Cabry with a late pick right there. Ryan Kuhn has picked the bottom line for this restart. So, Edwards going to pick the top again. Trey's going to pick the top. He'll move up from 5th to 4th. Kuhn falls to 5th. A little bit of the changing of the guard here when it comes to how drivers are picking. You see still Langford up on the top. You see Matt Rolfe on the bottom. A lot of different chooses here on this restart. I don't know what they're thinking with 2 laps to go, losing track position, but hey, we're about to see it all unfold, Andrew. 2 laps to go. First attempt at a green-white checker.
We'll leave the overtime rules there on the screen as we take the green flag here, waiting on it in the restart zone. Green flag back in the air here at USA.
Look at Langford. He fell in line there, Andrew. He tried to defend those spots, hold on to it, but it looks like we're going to get pretty racy coming off of turn number 2. Oh, it looks like much of a wreck, but they're going to keep it clean. No, caution on the speedway.
Riley Stensham will bring out this yellow.
Almost made it to the white flag.
Cautions read cautions. Only 1 more attempt here.
See Aaron Johnson on the inside.
He just got loose.
Oh, just tapped the wall. Ooh, and he hit the opening at the crossover. That's a bad spot to hook a race car. That looks like that's going to end the 77th day. He's got to pit for a repair flag. Not much that can be done there. All right, Andrew, attempt number 2. Everyone's changed around a little bit. Traves up to 4th. Kuhn's still 5th. Langford's moved up a couple of spots. Shaping up for 1 more restart.
One more opportunity to thank all the partners involved here. All Pro Elite Model Tour, Cody Williams Design, Corey Body Motorsports, Pro Sim Shots, Davis Chassis Works, DriverTees.com, Dylan Bates Racing, Fast AF Designs, Hides Pride Leather and Sheepskin, International Short Track Association, Matthews Designs, as well as 1-8 Coffee Company, 1-8 Racing Media, Patriot Media and Marketing Services, Headley's Garage, Pierce Fleet Service, Race1Wraps.com, RJ Williams Management, RS Center Trucking, I believe that's RJW21 Management, I'm sorry RJ, RS Center Trucking, SARA Next Gen Templates, SimWrapMarket.com, Toxic Media Solutions, and Wisconsin Wings and Walleyes. Well, here we go. Do we have to choose this time, or is it next?
Should be this time by, if I'm
Next
not
time.
mistaken.
No choose there. Well, we can take a look at the SARA National Tour, 1-8 Racing Media National Tour schedule that has brought us all the way down here to the Fall Brawl next week. You see Myrtle Beach slotted in there at race number 11. That was a whole lot of fun at Myrtle Beach. Enjoyed that one a lot. Next up, it's the Fall Brawl at Five Flags Speedway. Going to be an enjoyable time for sure. That's next week, November 19th and November 21st.
Can't wait for that one. It's going to be a lot of fun. See the drivers choosing in the background. Ryan Kuhn late on the choose, and I'm excited to see how these guys are going to race with the fall brawl. It's looking like it's going to shape up for a good time. I saw they opened the entry list for the drivers earlier on in the week, and now there's a lot of great drivers in this field that I'm sure will make an appearance. And as we get ready to roll, Andrew, last attempt at green-white checkered. It's either going to end under the caution flag or it's going to end under the checkered flag, and I'd like to see it under the checkered, not under the yellow. You see them all lined up, ready to go. Double or nothing, Andrew. Second attempt at a green-white checkered.
Let's try this one more time. Green, white, checkered on the way. Overtime rules on the screen. Green flag back in the air. Josh Cottle fighting to the inside of Trevor Edwards. Here we go. Down the backstretch. Can we get this lap complete?
Side by side into 3 and 4. Cabry clearing away. Trevor Edwards hanging on the outside line. White flag in the air presented by Whiplash Media. We are into the last lap, Andrew. There's no more yellows. There's no more holding this race up. It's going to run right to the end.
Slicing on the wheel here is Ryan Kuhn down to turn number 3, trying to get that third spot away. It looks like he's just going to be able to as Cole Cabry exits turn 4 and wins the Crow Sim Shots 111 at USA International Speedway.
One heck of a race for these guys. How about Ryan Kuhn? Started 29th, second to last on the field, ends up 3rd. That's got to be a hard charger award if there is one.
That will likely qualify him for, let me find it, the new Dylan Bates Racing Hard Charger Award, as it's a burnout time on the front stretch for Cole Cabry.
Definitely earned this one. Dominated the race after issues early on with so many drivers.
We'll get a look back here in just a moment at the unofficial race results. But Cabry will park it down in victory lane, right where that 54 car belongs. And we'll get a look back at your unofficial race results. Finishing first, of course, is Cole Cabry out ahead. Second place, Josh Cottle. In the number 13 car, Ryan Kuhn 3rd, Trevor Edwards 4th, Steele Langford. How about that result? 5th place for Steele. He just gets ahead of Parker Traves and Jim Cottle Jr. Cameron Hamilton hangs on for 8th. Matt Rolfe sinks down to 9th spot, and Daniel Folds sneaks on into a top 10.
Nice to see Daniel Folds up in the top 10. He was involved in, well, not involved, but involved in missing a few of the wrecks towards the back. But nice to see Folds with a top 10. But the rest of the field, as they run 11th through 20th at least. Corey, what are we saying here? What are we calling it?
Body or Bodie? Take your pick until we know.
I'm going to go with Bodie. Corey Bodie is going to roll in the 11th spot. Justin Laxton, Jacob Harberts, John Ellett, and Aaron Johnson. They're going to roll 11th through 15th. You got Keith Jeffrey. He managed to work his way back up into the 16th spot. Kyle Turzak in 17th. Spencer Dickinson, after fighting for that top 10, ends up in the 18th spot. Kyle Meyer in 19th, and Aaron Abendroth in the 20th spot. Then you see the rest of these last 10 cars rolling across the rest of your screen.
Take a look there at some drivers that had early exits, and all the way down through Joel Smith, all 30 cars this evening that turned out the USA International Speedway. 81 laps led, though, by our race winner. Cole Cabry goes to victory lane for the first time this season, because it is the first race this season. It's a good way to get things started. Cole, congratulations. How'd you get it done?
Yeah, there were so many yellows. I don't even know, to be honest with you. I lost count after like the 12th yellow or something like that. So just thankful for the shop boys for giving me a piece in qualifying, and then the race. You know, we were really good. Once we can get laps, you know, we were some of the fastest cars on track. So really huge thank you to Trevor, Josh, Keith, Kyle, all the guys at the shop.
Alex McCullum no longer with you guys at the shop. How has that changed things going into this new Super Series?
Definitely a little bit, different now. We're all so good buddies, and I've been friends with Alex for years. So, no racing has changed between us. As you can see, it was still kind of the same scene as it was last season in qualifying. So, it'll still be good racing. Unfortunately, he won't be racing with us, but, some come and, go.
Well, a good way to get the season started for sure. 81 laps led for car 54. Do you think you can back this one up on December 5th at Southern National?
For sure, I would love to. To get the 54. Charlie Bates Designs put a sick design on this thing, and hopefully we can put her back in victory lane.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's Cole Cabry with the P1 result. Of course, where you want to be at the end of the night. Josh Cottle, though, one spot shy here, Zach. The Moe's Mobile Detailing 13 car was fast.
That it was. Cottle was able to put that car where it needed to be and really beat out Trevor Edwards there at the end, who had been trying to pick the outside line and restart well for the entirety of the race. Josh, you led only one lap on the night. You still brought it home second. Congratulations. I mean, tell us how that went for you, man. That was a pretty hectic race to be a part of.
Oh, yeah, man. Just really glad to be up front again. As always, you guys know that I'm always happy finishing the top three, no matter what. We had a really good piece today from the shop. Honestly, the racing, it was really fun. We had those green flag runs a lot. I mean, you're going so fast, you can't think about anything. You just have to go as hard as you can. And then all the caution, it made a little chaos, but the choose rule really helped. I really liked that rule. But it was a fun night. Congrats to my teammate Cole on the win in a shop 1-2. Almost a 1-2-3 till that last restart, but it was a good night for all of us regardless.
Now, like we said in the broadcast early on, there's been a lot of driver changes throughout the season. We see that, Alex McCullum's not with the shop anymore, so you got some new teammates up there. You guys were racing pretty hard in the early stages of the race. Did you think at any point in time that, rivalries might start brewing or things might start taking a turn for the worse with how these guys are making driver changes? Well, it's a new season. It's a new race to get down and dirty and fight for a championship.
No, honestly, Super Series, yes, we're racing each other as hard as we can, but at the end of the day, we're just going to laugh about it, have fun. I mean, that's all it's about. I raced really hard tonight, and that's just how it's going to be, as long as you don't go over the line. So, no, there's no new rivalries or anything. It's just the shop boys, we just worked our hearts off this week, had a great piece, almost had the pole in qualifying, and then obviously 1-2 in race. So that's all we're going to keep the momentum for going into next week.
Well, that's good to hear. Congratulations again on your second place finish. And one more question before you hop on out of here. 5 mystery races on the season. Do you think you have one picked out, maybe that you might know what it is?
I'm hoping it's Hickory or something, like Hickory or Wilkesboro. I'll be very happy with that. Those are my favorite tracks, so that's what I'm hoping, but you never know. It could be something like New Hampshire or something crazy, that we don't really race that often. I wouldn't mind to see that, so I don't know. It's exciting. I'm glad he implemented more of it. It was really fun in the boring last season. Everybody was just so freaked out, and it made it interesting, and it really showed all the talent of the guys. So, yeah. Also, just want to thank you guys for the broadcast. I hope the racing was great. Thank you to the shop, everybody that's put in work this week. It's been a long week, but it's obviously showed off. So thank you to those guys, especially Cobble Chassis, Edwards Inflatables, and that's it. And Matt for the week.
We definitely enjoy every second we spend up here in the booth watching you guys tear it up on the racetrack. Congratulations again on your second place finish, and we can't wait to see you next race.
All right, thank you guys.
Absolutely. That's Josh Cottle, Andrew, your second place finisher on the night, and I think you've got Ryan Kuhn waiting to talk about his third place finish.
We do have Ryan Kuhn from a third place finish after starting 29th this evening, up 26 spots. How do you even begin to comprehend that? 26 positions at USA International Speedway is not easy to come by. How in the world, Ryan, did you manage that?
Survival, really. It was just a crazy race, a lot of yellows. The choose hurt and helped me at the same time. Got caught up in a few of those wrecks, but honestly, I thought we had the best car tonight. That thing, I told my guys, I said, this thing is absolutely on rails right now. And thing was really, really good. Could roll the bottom, could roll the top. I could put that thing anywhere and be fast. So car was really good. Proud of Corey for leading all those laps. Unfortunately, he kind of took the right front off a little bit earlier in the race, but he did a great job. Kyle did a great job. Unfortunately, he got caught up in a few incidents as well, but all in all, it was a solid night. It had really, really good speed. Just I needed to call. I think if we qualified a lot better, I think we could have won that race. But I was honestly trying to keep an eye on my computer because I've been having some issues lately. So I'm hoping those are fixed for Fall Brawl, and hopefully we can go in there and win another one.
What's it going to take to get you to start higher up the order and not have to rely on the provisional to start from 29th spot? And what's it going to take to have you start higher up in this field so you don't have to come from behind?
Just not throwing away Q. Just absolutely. I came off a 2. I looked down. I glanced down real quick, looking at if I was in the green or in the red. And as soon as I looked down, I was in the wall. So it's just kind of unfortunate timing, and it kind of just killed me there. And yeah, I thought we were good in Q and race. Corey qualified top 5 there, and he was really stout and got lucky with the invert and getting an early yellow. But yeah, I think I just got to qualify a little better. I got to just execute, and I should have played it safe, and I didn't.
Well, Ryan, it's good to talk to you for the first time this season. Congratulations on the P3 effort. Hopefully we're talking to you a position or 2 higher in the future.
Hope so. Thank you. Appreciate it.
There you go. That's Ryan Kuhn this evening from the 3rd spot. Certainly, I think, happy with the result overall when it's all said and done, Zach. But that'll do it for us this evening from USA International Speedway. One more look at what's upcoming for us at Pit Stop TV. Next up, we head out to Five Flags twice next week. November 19th and 21st, Tuesday and Thursday for the 1/8 Racing Media National Tour. Right in between, we go to Iowa with the SimRap Market Series with NASCAR Cup Series cars. That'll be a lot of fun for race 6 of their series. And Zach, there's plenty of places to follow along.
That there is, pitstoptv.com. That's a great place to look at all the partners and links that we got going on here at Pitstop TV, Facebook.com/Pitstop TV, Instagram.com/Pit_Stop_TV, Twitch.tv/Pit_Stop_TV, YouTube.com/Pitstop TV1, and X.com/Pitstop TV_. I'm very much looking forward to these guys tearing it up in the Fall Brawl. There's going to be a lot of great drivers, a lot of good racing in that race. I'm super excited. Obviously, we got BRB Butt Kicker Cup Series coming back after all of that unfolds, but I'm excited to see what's coming up.
Once again, this has been Race 1, the Crow Sim Shots 111 here. Race 1 of the Sim Auto Racing Association Pierce Fleet Service Super Series. A thank you to Pierce Fleet Service. A thank you to Crow Sim Shots and all of our series partners this season, helping us get to and from the virtual racetrack. Thanks for tuning in this evening. It's been a pleasure as always. We certainly hope you've enjoyed tonight's broadcast, and we hope you'll join us again here soon, hopefully next week, for the Fall Brawl here on Pit Stop TV. Going to be a lot of fun. Don't miss it. We'll see you there.